1, 2, 3, ikimashou everyone.
Season 7 is here, guys, and we are starting it off with some very fun Pokemon. I did go ahead and make a Shadow Pinsir team, and it is very interesting. I decided to use this Pokemon because I was looking on PvPoke and I was looking at what can beat Galarian, Stunfisk, and some of these other psychic types in the meta, which has been kind of the problem with some of my teams recently. And I decided to try out Shadow Pinsir because it does quite well versus these Pokemon. Now, it does lose at the 2 shield versus the Stunfisk, but it does win in the 1 shield. And you guys will see that later, that you can still kind of spice it out a bit and still end up winning versus the Galarian Stunfisk. But anyway, the team is Galarian, Stunfisk, Shadow Pinsir, and Azumarill. And Galarian, Stunfisk, and Azumarill are pretty standard. You could technically run Azumarill with a play rough, but I decided that I wanted that Hydro Pump for a little bit extra damage. And now what's interesting here is the Shadow Pinsir with Fury Cutter, and X-Scissor and Superpower are its charge moves. Now, of course, Fury Cutter is a very fast move. It hits very, very hard and charges very quickly. Now, this team went 7-2. I started in the middle of a set with it, so that's why it's not a complete set. And if you want to see more of this PvP content, please go ahead and leave a like, comment, subscribe to this channel, and turn on that notification bell so you guys don't miss any of these awesome battles. And let's go ahead and hop into our first match. Alright, so our first opponent is Artorias1047, and let's see what they bring into the table. So they do bring in a Toxicroak, so this is definitely not a good matchup for us here. So we do decide to make the immediate switch into the Azumarill, and they bring in a Skarmory. So things are looking not too terrible here, especially because we have that Hydro Pump. They are going to go for the Sky attacks. They do hit pretty hard, but we're not going to shield here. We want to save those shields for later on in the match. And we're going to go ahead and overfarm since they did throw energy right away. We get a little bit of extra energy and we throw that Hydro Pump. And they do shield it. Very nice call by my opponent. A lot of people don't run Hydro Pump anymore, so sometimes people don't shield. Now, we will shield this one because we do want to get to a second Hydro Pump and either force another shield or take out the Skarmory here. So let's see what the opponent decides to do. They do end up letting it go through, so we're able to actually almost get them out, but not quite. This is not terrible because then we can go ahead and farm up a bit with the Stunfisk, and Stunfisk does actually do super effective damage versus a Toxicroak. So it's actually not too terrible here. So we go ahead and wait out the timer and bring in the Stunfisk, get a little bit of extra energy onto it, and we're gonna go ahead and farm up a bit. They do go off for that first Mud Bomb here, and we decide to let this go through. It's gonna hit us hard, but we can tank it, right? Stunfisk is super tanky Pokemon. Get a little bit of lag there, which means that I take a little bit too much counter damage, unfortunately, but we do get their last shield out, and we make the immediate switch into the Pinsir, and they bring in their Galarian Stunfisk. Now, this looks great for us here because we do have shield advantage, which is where Shadow Pinsir can really shine here, especially versus these Pokemon that it's super effective against. As you guys will see here, this superpower is going to be devastating. Bam, right? That's a lot of damage there. Now, we do end up going for another one, but we don't want to drop our defense, so this time we go for the X-Scissor and almost get them out, but we managed to get one more Fury Cutter in, and now it's versus a Toxie, and we're going to go for another superpower here. Let's see how much damage this thing does, even while it's debuffed. And yeah, it almost takes them out, so they're forced to throw their energy here. And that should be smooth sailing for the Galarian Stunfisk. We got to get to the Rock Slide, but we just need one more fast move. Guys, the 1 HP win to start off this team was pretty hype. I was basically screaming at the screen when this happened. So yeah, very fun match there. Now, I did turn on the recording a little bit late on this one, so we don't get to see the trainer's name, but this is a Galarian Stunfisk mirror matchup, and we decide to stay into this one. I had to get a little bit creative, if I remember correctly, on this one here. So we go ahead and drop a shield here because it could be an Earthquake, but when they throw the Rock Slide, it makes me think that they're going to probably go for sure for an Earthquake on the second one if they manage to get all the way to the energy for it. But I get to it at the same time as them, and they win the CMP tie. So things are looking a little bit sad here for me, but it's okay, guys. I'm still gonna go ahead and throw it off. I'm cool with double shielding to keep my Stunfisk healthy, and they actually let it go through. I was ready to switch into a Azumarill if I needed to there, but they did let it go through, which is nice for us. Now they do bring in the Abomasnow, and Pinsir will be doing pretty well here because of the Fury Cutter damage is going to be very, very, very heavy hitting, but it is a very squishy Pokemon. Now here I do make a small mistake. I should have gone for the superpower because it would have done neutral damage, but hey, you know, sometimes things that happen, can't get down on yourself, and I bring it in right away because I don't want to wait for the switch timer. I actually want to be in here kind of locked in versus the fairy type. So we do get a rock slide through, and we're really hoping that we can get one more shield out because Azumarill is going to have a tough time versus that Abomasnow in the back. We don't get the shields, but we're hoping that we can maybe catch a Weather Ball, but we kind of switched a little bit too early there. So now my opponent gets to farm up a bit too much, and they're going for that Energy Ball for sure there. So things are looking a little bit tough. We go for this Ice Beam. We're going to hope this Ice Beam will take them down. There's a bit of lag there, and they don't shield. Yeah, they're very smart. They know exactly the kind of damage it does. So this will probably take out the Azumarill unless they're getting cheeky, but they actually just go for a Weather Ball, so they are very cheeky. And this essentially forces them to throw a second Weather Ball here. So now the Galarian Stunfisk can come in and kind of farm it down. At least that's what I'm hoping for, because it's the only way for me to win, and we do get it. And the opponent knows it's over, so they go ahead and exit the match. That is a GG to them. Now our next battle is versus EDCE 767. And let's see what they go ahead and bring out to the table. They do bring in a Galvantula. This is very good for us because we resist pretty much all of its moves and we do neutral damage to it, so that's nice. Of course, the rock slides are going to hit very hard. Now, we could have thrown that rock slide there, but I'm actually hoping to get to 2 rock slides before I start throwing any of my energy. But they go ahead and make a switch, and a little bit of lag there again, but we do manage to get the Pinsir out. And again, when Pinsir comes in with neutral shields or shield advantage, it can be pretty devastating. So we are pretty excited here. I do shield here, which I think actually I did not need to, but just in case, I'm not sure how much Earthquake would have done, and this is a shadow Pokemon, so we did shield. And we're going for a second X-Scissor here, and yeah, it takes them out for sure. Now they do bring in the Galvantula, and we are just going to go straight X-Scissor here because it will do a lot of neutral damage. And yeah, guys, look at that. That's pretty wild. I don't think they were expecting that, which is why they didn't shield, and they are forced to throw their energy. So that means we can bring in our Stunfisk. Nice and easy to go ahead and farm them down. We are going to wait out the timer just in case they make a switch. They do make the switch, but we decide to throw the Earthquake here, see if they'll not shield, and then that will make it even better for us. And they don't shield, so things are just looking way too good. We go ahead and farm up a bit, try to catch a move, but we kind of didn't count on this one here, so, you know, nothing we can do there. The switch was a bit too early. Now they do hit us with a Hydro Pump, so that is just looking extra good for us here because that means they do not have Play Rough. And we can go for our Hydro Pumps as well. And yeah, it does a lot of damage to them. Well, you know, same damage, but they're very low. That's what I'm trying to say, guys. You know me. And another Hydro Pump here, but we're looking nice and good. We're going to go ahead and farm this down, even if we take a Hydro Pump, because we know we can finish this game off with the Stunfisk here. And I don't think they actually get to a Hydro Pump. Yeah, they just throw an Ice Beam out. So we're still doing great. And we bring them down with just 1 bubble. And that is a good game there to my opponent. All right, so now we are versus Captain More GYN. Not entirely sure what they're trying to say there, but okay. So they go ahead and bring in a Skarmory. So another great lead for us here. They make an immediate switch into the Stunfisk. And here we go ahead and bring out the Pinsir, which is supposed to be the Stunfisk counter. Now again, the 2 shields, the Stunfisk does win, but it's pretty close. So you guys will see this here. They do get to the second Rock Slide, and now this is the moment where a lot of people get pretty nervous, but we're gonna go ahead and stay calm, over farm a bit, and go for our superpowers. We're hoping that they might not shield, but they of course shielded here. But we're fine. We basically want to get all their shields out. We have the Pokemon in the back that we need to finish this Stunfisk. So even if the Pinsir doesn't get the job done, it's still going to do well. I do go ahead and throw an X-Scissor here because I was worried about taking a Rock Slide. And I was just trying to get some chip damage in. But then they are saving up like crazy. And guys, they totally mess it up. And I mean, it's a, you know, pure luck, but that's how it is sometimes in this game. We get that superpower off, finish them off, and let's see what our opponent does now. I'm actually surprised they didn't quit just right there and then. We try to get to another superpower, but it's impossible. We've lowered our defenses way too much. Now we do go for a rock slide here, and this will chunk them quite a bit. Yes. And yeah, we're both down shields, and this is a very comfortable matchup for the Stunfisk, so I'm pretty happy. I am a little bit annoyed that I kind of let myself fall into that CMP tie there. Usually what you do is you hit a little bit harder when you know they're gonna come. You just don't use your move. But they make a nice switch here. But Azumarill is a wall versus the Umbreon. We do not have to play rough, which would make this much easier, but Hydro Pump is still going to do a lot of damage, so we're just going to keep going for Hydro Pumps. And Last Resort did not do that much damage. I thought it would do a lot more to the Azumarill, but you know, bulky boy. Now we go for this first Hydro Pump and get them very low, but they have been farming up quite a lot here, so my guess is that they probably have 2 Last Resorts ready to go, or almost 2 Last Resorts ready to go. Yeah, so they get a couple little more damages in there, and then they finally throw off that second Last Resort, and gets us pretty low here, but we're gonna keep farming just a little bit extra, and then we make the switch to try to catch a Foul Play if that's what they're gonna throw. And they do throw it, but not when I thought. So you know, I'm still messing up those switches here and there, so it does make it a little bit hairy here for me, because I do need 2 rock slides to finish off the Skarmory, but I do think I have enough residual energy from last time to get to it, and I do. Now surprisingly, this rock slide will not finish them. I really thought it was just enough, but I guess that little nerf that they had last season was just enough, and then we finish off the Umbreon, and that is a good game to my opponent. Let's see what the next one will be bringing. Jelly Donut 44. So they bring in a pretty tough team versus me. This is the team that got me super hyped. I even posted on Instagram for you guys to vote on how good you thought Shadow Pinsir were, and you guys gave it a resounding no. But you guys might change your mind after this little battle here. So we make a quick switch into the Azumarill to go ahead and catch this Surf, which is very important in this match. And we are looking very good because they are down a shield and we are not, right? So that's very nice for us. Now we do farm up a bit extra and we go for these Ice Beams because at least it'll do neutral damage. I've made that mistake before where I go for the Hydro Pump. Yeah, just kind of late night brain farts, but not today, not today. So another Ice Beam goes in and things are looking pretty good. I believe we do not shield this. We're okay with our Azumarill going down. It's done its job. It's gotten their most dangerous Pokemon very low. And I believe I bring in the Shadow Pinsir here because it will do neutral damage again. Yeah, and we are going to shield these Power Whips. Again, I probably don't need to shield them, but just in case. And it's actually a Thunder, so I'm really glad that I did go ahead and shield that. Now, they bring in a Defense Form, Deoxys, which is another Pokemon that is super hard countered by Pinsir, so I am very surprised that they brought it in. I know that they think that the Rock Slide damage will be good, but I outpace them, especially because I have more energy to start off the match anyway. So I'm able to get 2 X-Scissors off, get them super low, and I am totally okay with shielding here because I can probably get to another X-Scissor before they get to the Rock Slide. But if I do recall correctly, I think I'm going to go ahead and try to catch the Rock Slide. I switched a little bit too early, but it's still good because it's only going to be the Rock Slide. And we can farm down here. Counter will do a lot of damage to us, but it's okay because now we have a lot of energy left. And we throw that Rock Slide immediately. We don't want to deal with any Power Whips. And actually, I realized that I kind of want to farm a little bit extra here so I don't finish them off completely and get one little extra Mud Shot in. Kind of nice there. And now we have to hope that we survive this Surf so that I can get a Rock Slide off. And we survive it with very little HP, maybe about, I don't know, 3-4% HP left there. We do get this Rock Slide in, which is very important. And we know that that Pinsir is loaded with energy, so we throw that Superpower here. And this will definitely KO that Ice type. Bam! Nice. And that is the last game of the set, guys. Now, if you've made it this far, thank you so much for watching. Again, please leave a like, comment, subscribe, and turn on that notification bell. Share this to your friends, guys. We have a lot of fun here on the Musa Squad. So do not hesitate to join the Musa Squad on Twitter, Instagram, Twitch, and even Discord. We have a link down in the bottom, so please go ahead and click on that one if you want to join in for some raids or for some battles. And guys, we are so excited for Season 7. We almost made it to Expert rank in Season 6, so we are really pushing for that Expert, and the ultimate goal, of course, is that Legend rank. But I will catch you guys on the next one, okay? Sayonara!